What's up, you guys? So, our forever president, Barack Obama, was on the campaign trail recently and he finally said what needed to be said. He addressed black men directly about not wanting to support Kamala Harris simply for the fact that she is a woman. He finally said it, so we're going to get into it in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and everyone click the thumbs up button. All right, guys. So recently, Barack Obama delivered a speech in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania during a campaign rally where he specifically addressed black men. Now, this is a Democratic campaign rally. So the people he's talking to, he's not necessarily addressing them. Like, these are black men who are engaged. Like, it's a rally, it's a Democratic rally. But he's giving them a message to pass on, like, pass this on to your uncle, your brother, your friend, whoever who's not engaged and who is saying that they are going to sit this out rather than to vote for Kamala Harris. They're going to sit this out or either vote for the other party. And so I want to make it clear who he is addressing, because there are so many black men that support Kamala Harris. There are so many just good black men, period, that kind of get, swept up into the stereotype of black men not supporting women. And I want to make it clear that that is not who he was addressing. He is addressing the black men who basically wouldn't be in a room like this, who wouldn't support a woman running for president.
Take some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to.
So let's first start there. What do y'all think about him basically pointing out that, there were millions of people that supported him, but less when it comes to the black community, especially black men, less are supporting Kamala. Now, do you think, because I know a lot of times this happens in politics, especially in the Democratic Party, people assume that black people are just going to vote Democratic, like no matter what, whoever's on the ticket, they're going to vote for, especially if it's a black person. What do you think about that assumption, first of all? And what do you think about the fact that it's not happening this time among black men?
I would say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act so everybody's got health, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
And so that's another question I have for you all. Basically, he's pointing out that Kamala Harris grew from a middle class background. And, should people not identify with her, especially Black people? A lot of us are from, middle class or lower backgrounds. He's questioning, why would you not vote for someone who came from a background like you and made it to the second highest office in the land? What do you think about that question compared to the fact, I would say fact, that a lot of Black people, and I'm not even just saying Black men, but a lot of Black people respect affluence and power and money and all the things that Trump has. Like, a lot of Black people are impressed by Trump. They're not impressed by, a woman who grew up middle class becoming the vice president. They're not as impressed by that as they are by Trump and all of his millions. What do you think about that?
And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, because of Pookie might be.
Right. The guy in the audience, like I said, he's not really addressing the audience. This is a message for them to pass on, because the guy in the audience was like, I'm not thinking about sitting out. And like I said, it's not men in rooms like this that would sit out and not support, a woman such as Kamala Harris running for president. It's not guys like this, but it's a message to pass on. Like, it's supposed to go viral, which it is.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
And so, I do have to say, misogyny is rampant in the Black community. I feel like he has a point. A lot of Black people really don't want to see a woman in power. Like, patriarchy it's part of the fabric of the Black community, just like it's part of the fabric of this country. So he definitely has a point with that. And what he's about to get into, saying about how Black women have had our backs, I think it kind of, I don't know if he realizes it, but it kind of, proves a point that he's trying to disprove. Like, Black women have been supportive. We have been supportive of Black men. We've raised Black men. Like, we've done all the things, right? We've done all the things in a supportive capacity. I don't know if he's realizing that the Black men that he's really addressing, that's what they want. Like, not a woman in leadership, but a woman in a supportive role. But what do y'all think about that? The difference about wanting a woman to be supportive, even in government, rather than in leadership, like being the actual president.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. This shouldn't even be a question.
Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Barack Obama specifically addressing Black men and all of their qualms about electing a woman of color, about the support he received not trickling down to Kamala Harris, and everything else that I mentioned in this video. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and let me know if you want more political type videos from me. As always, thanks for watching.